I stared at the crumpled bank statement in my hand, the one she'd hidden in the back of her sock drawer, showing monthly transfers of $2,000 to an account in another state, transfers labeled for our future, but not ours. "This isn't what you think," she said, her voice steady, eyes avoiding mine, as if I were the one intruding on her secret life. What the hell was I supposed to think? We'd been married 8 years and she'd been whispering about our dream home in the suburbs, kids running around the yard, while funneling away half our savings to someone else. I'm Alex, 35 now, a software engineer in Seattle, where the rain never stops reminding you how isolated you can feel. I met Sarah in college, back when we were both scraping by on ramen and late-night study sessions. She was pursuing her teaching degree, full of passion for shaping young minds, and I was coding my way through apps that barely paid the bills. We clicked over shared dreams, stability, a family, escaping the grind. We tied the knot right after graduation, moved to the city for my job at a tech firm, and she landed a position at a local elementary school. Life settled into a rhythm. Me pulling long hours debugging code, her grading papers over dinner, weekends hiking in the Cascades or binge-watching shows on the couch. But over the last couple of years something shifted. It wasn't dramatic at first, just small distances. She'd stay late at school for parent meetings that ran into the evening, coming home with a distracted smile, phone buzzing more than usual. I'd ask about her day, and she'd pivot to mine, deflecting with questions about my projects. Our conversations about the future, saving for that house, maybe starting a family, felt one-sided. I'd map out budgets on spreadsheets, excited to show her how close we were, and she'd nod, say, "That sounds perfect." But her eyes would drift to the window like she was already somewhere else. I chalked it up to stress from work, the way kids' endless energy wore her down. I didn't push, didn't want to seem needy. Instead, I picked up extra freelance gigs to pad our joint account, thinking it would bring us closer. Then came the day I found the statement. I wasn't snooping. I was looking for a pair of socks she'd borrowed, rummaging through her drawer when the envelope slipped out. It was from a bank we didn't use, addressed only to her. I opened it, heart pounding, telling myself it was probably nothing. But there they were. Consistent deposits from her paycheck, then withdrawals transferred to an account in Chicago. The memos read, "For our future," or "Thinking of you." Thousands gone over 18 months. Our dream life fund siphoned off. I sat on the bed staring at the numbers, feeling the room spin. This wasn't just money, it was trust evaporated. I waited until she got home that evening. She walked in humming a tune from her car radio, setting down her bag with a sigh. "Tough day?" I asked, my voice tighter than I intended. She nodded, heading to the kitchen for water. I followed, holding out the statement like evidence in a trial. "What's this, Sarah?" Her face went pale, but she recovered quick, too quick. "Alex, that's private. Why were you going through my things?" She reached for it, but I pulled back. "Private? We're married. This is our money, or was it? Who's in Chicago? Who's our future?" She sank into a chair, rubbing her temples. "It's not what you think. It's from my brother. He's been struggling, lost his job last year. I didn't want to worry you. But that didn't add up. Her brother lived in Portland, not Chicago. And why the secrecy?" I pressed, my voice rising despite myself. "Then why hide it? Why label it like that?" She looked up and something in her eyes hardened. Not guilt, resignation. "Okay, fine. It's not my brother. It's someone I met online years ago. We reconnected. He's going through a divorce, needs help with his kids. It's just financial support, Alex. Nothing physical." "Nothing physical?" The words hit like a gut punch. "So you've been emotionally invested in another man's life while we talk about building ours? Sending him our savings?" "It's not our savings, it's from my salary. I earned it." Her tone turned defensive, cold. "You've been so focused on your career, your code, your plans." I felt alone. He listens, understands the daily grind of teaching without judging. I felt my world crack. And I don't? I've been here every day trying to make this work for us. She leaned forward, voice flat. "You were convenient, Alex. Stable. But this dream life you keep pushing, it's yours, not mine. I stayed because it was easy, but my heart's been divided for a while. Your feelings, they just don't weigh as much anymore." There it was, the brutal truth delivered like a memo in her statements. Not screamed, not tearful, just matter of fact, stripping away any illusion. I stood there, silent, the paper crumpling in my fist. Humiliation burned through me. Not just the betrayal, but how I'd been blind, pouring effort into a partnership that was already hollow. That night I collapsed on the couch, replaying every moment. The late nights she'd spend texting, claiming it was lesson plans. The way she'd pull away from my touch, blaming exhaustion. I felt my identity shatter, the reliable husband, the provider, reduced to a convenience. Tears came, hot and unrelenting. But in the quiet hours before dawn, clarity hit. Begging wouldn't fix this. Chasing explanations would only deepen the wound. I had to stop being the one holding on. The next morning I packed a bag and left for a friend's place across town. No dramatic exit speech, just a note saying I needed space. She didn't call, didn't text. That silence confirmed everything. Divorce papers followed a month later. It was clean, clinical, assets split, no kids to complicate it. I kept the apartment, she moved out. The financial hit stung. I'd have to rebuild from scratch, no dream house anytime soon. But I threw myself into therapy, not the quick fix kind, but sessions where I unpacked the isolation I'd ignored in myself. I reconnected with old friends, joined a hiking group, even took up woodworking on weekends. Simple things that reminded me I existed beyond code and failed vows. Months turned into a year. I dated sparingly, nothing serious, focusing on boundaries I'd never set before. Sarah. Last I heard, she'd relocated closer to Chicago, chasing that future. No revenge fantasies for me. I didn't slash tires or spread rumors. Instead, I found justice in reclaiming my dignity, in walking away without becoming bitter. Looking back, the lesson isn't about spotting red flags sooner, though that's part of it. It's about valuing your own loyalty first. Don't build dreams on divided ground. Demand full presence from those you love. Healing comes slow in quiet steps, but it does come. And when it does, you're not just surviving, you're whole again. Ready for whatever's next, without the weight of someone else's secrets.